Hey everybody, welcome. This is Chris Cox for another Kiss guitar lesson. Today we're going to do Every Time I Look at You off the Revenge album. So real quickly I'm going to talk about the tuning and we'll get started. So we use a capo on the 2nd fret with this song. And that changes things as far as what an open string is. So if I take this capo away and I play this low E, that's an open E string. But once I put the capo on the 2nd fret, technically that's an F sharp or a G flat open. Now, to me, I think it's going to be a little easier to teach the song if I refer to the chords as traditional. Like technically this will be an A major, but we know that's a G chord, a G major chord shape. So I'm just going to consider that we've moved the nut down 2 frets, and I'm going to basically call out these chords, G major, C major, D major, because that's familiar. And I think it's a little less confusing, although I probably will get confused with this capo because I'm definitely not used to playing with one. So the tuning without the capo is E flat, and you put the capo on the 2nd fret. So let's go over the intro. So that plays twice, and then the verse starts on G major. So when we do that strum, 2 strums on the G major, we're going to go to A minor. Now, once I play that, I'm going to be pivoting back and forth on the 5th fret with my pinky on the B string, the 5th fret of the B string. So it's, and then when I lift up that pinky, I'm also going to lift up my ring finger. So we have this. So we're basically, sounds like this. Let's play it real slow. G major. When the rhythm is loose, again, Bruce and Paul are playing, different parts that go really well together, but it's obviously impossible to play that, as one guitar player. So I transpose this to more of a strum instead of an arpeggiated thing. So it's. The first little run through of the verse. So we're just strumming real loosely on G major. Now before we play that F chord, we're going to play this transition lick. And that's just 1st fret on the 3rd fret of the B, open B, 4th fret of the G, open G, and then we land on that F chord, which is ring finger on the 5th fret of the D, middle finger on the 4th fret of the G, bar the 1st finger across the B and high E, F major. So same strumming pattern. And there's another transition lick from the C major to the G. So after we come out of the F, we go into C. And that's basically you're playing an open D and you're hammering on the 4th fret of the D string. Okay, and then playing an open D, open G. Back to the G chord. Now from there we're going to add a chord. We're going to add a B minor. So if we bar our first finger and lay it really flat across the A, D, G, B, and high E, then you're going to have your ring finger on the 6th fret of the D, pinky fingers on the 6th fret of the G, middle finger is going to be on the 5th fret of the B string, and there. So that's the new chord, so B minor. To F major. Another transition lick there, okay? So when we come out of that B minor, so I'm play from the beginning there. G major. And when we strum that C chord, we're going to So one strum down, then we're going to grab D, B, G, D. Okay, and then we're going to lift up the third finger, put the second finger here on the fourth fret of the A, and we're still fretting here on the third fret of the B, and then basically open D and G. So we have, you just play that straight down, so A, D, G, B, and then grab the fifth fret here, which is the G note, so A minor. Let's go through that again, so into the A minor, so to D, so A minor to D major, another transition lick. So that's just a, so fifth fret of the high E, fourth fret of the high E, open high E, and on the fifth fret, excuse me, and then it's an open B. So fifth fret, fourth fret, open, open B. Back to the A minor. Let's play this. Let me go ahead and go back and play the verse again. So A minor. Here's the lick. Now this part right here, there's a little longer pause. We're going to go A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So there's a little bit of a hold there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's, I noticed when I was playing along with this song, that was something I really struggled with, was I was actually playing ahead a lot. So I had to kind of count a little bit so I would not end up, you know, playing ahead of the song. So that's basically the transition into the chorus. So A minor, C, D, and then we go back into the same intro. Now we got some new chords. Got an E minor there, so if we take our third finger and fourth finger and place them on the fourth fret of the A and D string and then play everything else open, we're going to have an E minor. So basically, it sounds like this. So you could play it arpeggiated like that, or you could do a play it like that if you want to strum. I kind of like the arpeggiated part. Just but you can play it either way. So when we go to the E minor, we're doing a strum, and then we're going to grab. So I'm playing the open G, skipping the B, going to the high E, and then picking up the open B. So go to the D. So skip the B again, then strum, again skip that B string, so we go G, high E, and then the B. So then the A minor to D. Now, to wrap all that up, we're going to go down here and play there. So if you take your first finger, put it on the 7th fret of the high E, ring finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the B, middle finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the G. So we play this arpeggiated first. I'm just going E, B, G, shift everything down a whole step. So 1, 2 frets play in the exact same shape, okay? But you're going to have first finger on the 5th fret, middle finger is going to be in that 5th fret of the high E, middle finger's on the 7th fret of the G and 7th fret of the B. So it's got, and I'm just doing a down, up strum. On the last down, I'm not actually going to pick, I'm just going to slide. So I'm holding, I'm fretting everything, and I'm shifting back down back up a whole step. So, and then we go back into the second verse. Now there is another new chord. Okay, so this transition part, this is right before the drums kind of kick in. So. Okay, so all we're adding there is G major to C add 9, okay? So all I'm doing, I'm taking the shape on the top here on the low strings. I've got my middle finger on the 5th fret of the E string. I've got my first finger on the 4th fret of the A string. I'm just going to move all that down. I'm going to put my middle finger on the 5th fret of the A string. I'm going to put my first finger on the 4th fret of the D. And that's going to give you a C add 9. And you're just, you know, it's again a real loose down up strumming pattern. And we're playing that same exact transition lick, which is that hammer on from the open D to the 4th fret of the D to the open G, back to the G major. So the chords are exactly the same as the first verse. There's just the transition licks are a little different. So we'll go. Same one, no change there. But right here, that's a different transition lick. Pretty easy though. You're going to play 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the A string, open A string, and finish on the 5th fret of the E string. So D minor, F major, C, back to A minor, same thing, nothing changes there. So we 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then we hold, we're back into the chorus. Okay, into the bridge. So the bridge, on the original version, there's electric guitar parts. The solo was recorded with electric guitar. Dick Wagner, former Alice Cooper guitar player, actually played the solo on that song on the studio version. So because Bruce is playing an ovation, and it's a cutaway, so basically I had to transpose the guitar solo, and I kept the capo on, because I started thinking about it, like, it's really, you know, I don't, how can we play the solo without, you know, the sound stop, take the capo off, and then put it back on to get back into the rhythm of the song. So I transposed it so we could play the solo with the capo on. However, I did have to make a couple changes because I can't get up that high on this, you know, traditional acoustic guitar. So I did make a couple of changes. Tried to keep it in the vein of what I would think that a lick that Bruce would play. So before we get into that solo, let's go through the bridge. So the bridge starts on a just power chords. So this would be an F power chord. So you got your first finger on the 8th fret of the A, third finger's on the 10th fret of the D. shift to this chord. This is going to be, same thing, just shifting to two different strings. So first finger on the 8th fret of the low E, ring finger on the 10th fret of the A. Keep that same shape. We're going to move it all the way down here to the 3rd fret of the low E and 5th fret of the A. Will be F to D. So that's 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the D. Shift to E, back to F. So the whole thing sounds like this. Everything repeats. Back to the F, the C. But we're going to leave the F out. We're going to go straight to D. Then to D. This basically, underneath the guitar solo, that little transition before the second verse from G major to C add 9, you play the same thing. A minor. Then we're back into the intro. And we end the song. Let it ring, stop, beats again. Stop, one more time. And we're going to end on the G major. Alright, so we get into this awesome guitar solo. And I had fun transposing some things on this. So again, if you're watching Bruce play that, he's not capoed and he does have novations, so he's going to be playing up, high on the neck. So I transposed everything so we could play that solo without having to take the capo off. So the first part is... Okay, so we start with a first finger here on the 5th fret of the low E. And then we're going to slide from the 7th fret to the 9th fret of the low E. So we have... So I don't actually fret this note. I'm just sliding into it by keeping my 3rd finger down. So, and then we're going to grab on the 7th fret the D string. So we have... And then we're going to do a bend. So I'm going to basically put my 3rd finger here on the 9th fret of the D. I'm going to bend it down and bring it back up. And then pivot back from the 7th fret of the D, end on the 9th fret. So after we do this, I'm going to shift up and grab the 5th fret of the A. And then I'm going to slide from the 4th fret of the D string to the 5th fret. And then I'm going to grab that, I'm sorry, excuse me, that is wrong. The 6th fret, I told you I would get this capo thing confused. 6th fret of the D to the 7th fret. So, okay, so let's go over what we got so far. Bend, 5th fret of the A, slide from the 6th to the 7th. And then grab the B string on the 7th fret. So, and then we're doing a little pedal lick here. Okay, So basically we're going back and forth from the note I keep pivoting from is going to be on the 7th fret of the D string. See, when I say pivoting back, that's my reference note, so to speak. So 7th fret of the B with the ring finger, 7th fret of the B string, to the 5th fret of the B string, to the 7th fret of the G, to the 6th fret of the G. So let's go over this so far, what we have. Okay, so I add a little, kind of a little bit something different in there, but try to keep it as close to the unplugged solo as I could. So we go, we're sliding down, so after we do this pedal lick, so I'm sliding in with on the G string all the way down to the 11th fret, and then I'm grabbing the 10th fret on the B. So we got, and you can let those two notes ring together. And then we're doing the same thing, but we're going to shift that same lick down half step. So you're sliding this time on the B string into the 10th fret, and then you're grabbing that last note on the 9th fret of the high E. So we have 11, 10, 10, 9. So now that you kind of heard that little sweep. So basically, I'm raking the pick across the string, so I'm not actually fretting anything. I'm just, it's a nice effect. I add definitely some phrasing to it. And then once I grab this, once I rake across the strings, I'm grabbing this 10, 9, 7 on the high E string. So 9, 7, excuse me, 10, 9, 7. 10, 9, 7, end on the 10th fret of the B string. So we got this. Again, let me get that again. 10, 9, 7, 10. And then we're going to end on that. So I'm just basically sliding on the G string from the 6th fret to the 7th fret, and then I'm grabbing this 10th fret of the B with my pinky. So let's play what we have so far. Bending on the acoustic guitar, not easy. Not to get the pitch right. So I did a little lick in between that. So after I do that, so basically it's kind of like a little, it's like playing basically a G major chord. So we got, if we can shape it with the ring finger on the 12th fret of the D, middle finger is going to be on the 11th fret of the G, first finger is going to be on the 10th fret of the B. So we got, so we go G, B string, G string, B string, go to the 12th fret of the B and pull off. So that last note I'm not picking, I'm just pulling off my 3rd finger to the 1st finger from the 12th to the 10th on the B string. And that's a nice little lick to kind of okay, kind of sounds very country. That's kind of like a pedal steel lick. So when we do this, we go, we're bending. The bend's going to be on the 12th fret of the B string, and then we're going to be grabbing and doing the pedal still kind of lick with our finger, on our pinky finger on the 12th fret of the high E. So it's going to sound like this. So once we do that bend, 2 picks, so that's just again a pivot lick from 12 to 9th fret on the B string, and then doing and that's just basic, kind of like a Hendrix type lick there, or a country lick, barring our first finger across the 10th fret of the B and E string, and then kind of hammering on the 12th fret of the B. So we have okay. So you can kind of see as I'm doing that bend, I'm kind of rocking up and down. Okay. Now right after that, it's kind of almost like a same, real similar lick, still based on that D major shape there. So we're just going 12th fret of the D, and then we're going to hammer from the 11th fret to the 12th fret on the G, and then we're going to bar across the 10th fret of the B and C. Okay, so let's play what we have. Okay, now if we play that kind of, you remember people would play this D chord, we're going to play that shape down here. If I can play it. So that part, if we're just kind of doing the rake again, kind of like a sweep. So you kind of see how I'm pulling off after I played that. So my first finger's on the 9th fret of the G string, middle finger's on the 10th fret of the B, ring finger's on the 9th fret of the high E, and then I'm going to be pulling off from the 10th to the 9th with my pinky. Then I'm going to slide. So I'm sliding basically from the 10th fret of the B and high E to the 12th. Come back and repeat it on the 10th, and then we're going to play this. So this is 10th fret, 9th fret. So 10th fret B, 9th fret high E. So So I added that as the way to end the lick, because again, Bruce is playing up here kind of high. I can't get up that high, so I basically did a similar lick that we did earlier. So we go. So it's just 10th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret of the high E. So we play 10, 9, 7, 10, 8, 7 on the B string. And then we end on the 10th fret of the B string, and then we go. And I'm doing those rakes again. So the last part is going to be 8th fret of 7th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret of the B, 9th fret of the D, or excuse me, 9th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G. So 8, 7, 9, 7. So slowly. Kind of sounds like something Bruce would play.